Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to tell you what you can expect from a Cancer moon. The moon is different from our sun sign. The moon is what governs our inner emotional world. So the moon shows us how we feel and what goes on inside us emotionally. Our emotional side is something that we don't really show to anyone. We usually only show this to people that we're rather close and intimate with. So our moon sign side will not really be clear and evident to people we don't really know. However, those that we are more close and intimate with will likely notice our moon sign. A person who has a Cancer moon is, in a sense, a little bit intimidated and scared of the world. The world around them and everything around them seems rather scary. It seems a bit overwhelming and intimidating, and they don't really know how to engage with it. They don't really know how to incorporate themselves with that which is around them. Cancer is a sign that is quite obsessed with the past, and a person who has a moon in Cancer is very preoccupied with their past. Even if they're not preoccupied with their past in this life, they will have some kind of subconscious preoccupation with their past lives. They might not actually realize that they carry all these emotions with them based on what they actually experienced in their past life. And in this life, a lot of the emotional burdens they carry has nothing even to do with this life, and it's something they carry with them from their past life. That is why a Cancer moon can feel this very big sense of emotional burden within their life. It can feel like their emotional space is so heavy and it's so overwhelming, and that's because they do not only bring their feelings and memories from this life with them, but they also bring their feelings and memories from their past life with them. Cancer moon natives have a very big capacity for nurturing. Cancer moon natives want to see people around them be happy, successful, and healthy, and these are people who will be encouraging others behind the scenes. So you might not realize that a Cancer moon person is vouching for you, that they're encouraging you, that they're trying to build you up, but they are. The thing is, Cancer moons do this secretly. They will secretly love you. They'll secretly admire you and care for you in such a way to build you up without you even realizing it. A moon in Cancer person really understands the concept of pure unconditional love more so than any other moon sign. A moon in Cancer can recognize a person's flaws. You can be rude to them, you can diss them, you can really hurt them, but they will still hold this unconditional love for you within their hearts, no matter what action you do upon them. It's very tricky for moon in Cancer natives to harness a sense of peace within their lives and a sense of peace within themselves, because they're constantly experiencing this emotional turbulence within themselves. This emotional turbulence causes them to never really be able to be at peace. They're never really able to just be and to enjoy the moment because there's just way too many emotions rushing through them. Cancer moon individuals kind of experience these emotional ups and downs. So the one moment they're highly happy, energized, and almost hyperactive. The next moment they're very gloomy, miserable, and upset. A Cancer moon is rarely in a balanced, peaceful emotional state, and it's usually either up or either down. Cancer moon people really like to sleep, as sleep is a way for them to, in a sense, escape their extreme emotions that they're so consistently feeling every single moment of their waking life. Because they enjoy sleeping so much, they can often struggle to actually wake up, and they prefer to just chill in bed most of the day and can become rather grumpy and irritable when they are forced to get out of bed. Generally, when a Cancer moon person wakes up, they're not in a good mood. They're usually in a bit of a grumpy, bitter mood until they have kind of completed their routine, had their breakfast, had their shower, and kind of gathered themselves. A Cancer moon has a rather intense emotional nature, very similar to a moon in Scorpio. It is almost impossible to ignore a Cancer moon and their emotions when their emotions flare up. When you are in the presence of a Cancer moon, when they're in an emotional state, the intensity of their emotions can be felt. Even if you're not an intuitive person, you can still feel how intense what this person is feeling is when you are in their presence. Cancer moons have this rare ability to calm people down. So when people are in an aggressive mood, when people are being rude and angry and bitter, they just being around the Cancer moon and hearing the Cancer moon speak will calm a lot of this turbulence within them. When you engage with a person who is a Cancer moon, they show you yourself. So they are in essence a mirror. So what I mean by this is, if you're going to be rude and harsh to a Cancer moon, they are going to respond instantly with negative emotions, which you will then experience. So you will experience your own bitterness and your own negative emotions through experiencing the negative emotions that the Cancer reacts with. If you deal with a Cancer moon in a positive, loving, caring way, the Cancer moon will respond to you with loving, positive, caring emotions. And in a sense, they also mirror this side to you back to you. So Cancer moons, in essence, respond based on what they are dealt with. So what I mean by that is, if you are going to be rude, if you're a rude person, you're a mean person, they will become you and they will show you yourself to you. If they respond with anger and rudeness, you can't get angry and rude with them more, because they're merely just responding based off what they are picking up from you. A person with a moon in Cancer would have grown up in a family where the mother most likely enforced a lot of structure, a lot of values into the family. The mother would have also probably taught the native and the family members how to have love, empathy, and compassion for other people in the world. And through their mother's sense of compassion and empathy that they hold within their hearts, the Cancer moon has learned this from their mother. Cancer moons possess just as much compassion in their hearts as what their mothers did. It is very rare to find a Cancer moon native who had a mother who was not compassionate and who was not highly loving towards their child. In astrology, the moon rules over Cancer, so the moon is actually very happily placed in the sign of Cancer. Just like the moon goes through its many different phases, so do Cancer moons go through many different emotions. When they're in a specific emotional state, they cannot go back to a previous emotional state because they're currently within that phase. They're within that emotional state. Cancer moons have a very strong connection to the moon, and they will notice that the movements of the moon in relation to their natal planets will have a more prominent effect on their life and their moods than most other zodiac sign placements. Cancer moon natives should try and gain some kind of awareness of how the moon impacts their moods, because there is a direct correlation between their moods and the phases of the moon. Those with the moon in Cancer have a very motherly kind of personality to them. They have this sense of love, care, and nurture, but also a sense of authority and wanting to lead you down the right direction. Moon and Cancer natives are highly receptive to the world around them and to others. They possess a heightened sense of intuition and a lot of empathy. Moon and Cancer people can literally feel what other people go through. They can sense what other people are about. They can sense whether their environment is good for them or not. Moon and Cancer people cannot place themselves in an unpleasant environment. They will always be unhappy. A Moon in Cancer person cannot force themselves to be happy if they are unhappy or they are in an unpleasant environment. The only way for them to be happy is to change their environments. The intuition of these people is so high that they can actually pick up on people's bad intentions very quickly. The moon in Cancer people might not even know that they're picking up on other people's bad intentions, and they don't realize and understand why they feel so uncomfortable around certain people, but this is actually the reason why. It's very important for a moon in Cancer person to always listen to their emotions and to always listen to their inner voice, because their inner voice is always right. Their inner voice will always be guiding them in the right direction because they are so highly intuitive. It can be tricky for a person with a moon in Cancer to see life objectively. Most things that they experience is seen through a very subjective veil. Even if something has nothing to do with them, and even if something has no personal impact on them, a Cancer moon will find something that impacts them personally. They'll find a way to link it to them so that it has some kind of personal impact on them. So it can be tricky for them to see life objectively and to see life through the eyes of others. Their perception is highly, highly clouded by their emotions, and everything they see is seen through this lens of their emotions. Very often it can be very tricky to speak logic and to speak reason into a moon in Cancer's head, because their perception and their reaction is highly based on how they feel. It's not really based on what is actually logical. A moon in Cancer is highly, highly receptive and responsible to other people's emotions. A moon in Cancer person will also have a handful of people, not a lot of people. It will most likely only be a few people, as they are quite selective people, that they feel a lot of love and passion for. If these people are threatened, if people want to hurt these people or embarrass these people or bring these people down, the moon in Cancer will go out of their way to stand up for these people. Moon in Cancer natives hold a lot of love and care in their heart for specific people. They might not always show that they hold this love and care for these people, but they do. And they will always make sure that those people receive the respect and the love that they actually deserve for who they are, as the Cancer moon person can see them for who they really, really are. A Cancer moon person will not love a person who is not worth loving in their eyes. They will only love a person who they know is worth being loved. When it comes to love, it's highly important for a moon in Cancer person to be with a partner who is somewhat stable and responsible. If a moon in Cancer is going to be with a person who is just as emotionally reactive as what they are, it is going to be challenging for the relationship to remain stable in the long run. The moon in Cancer person needs a partner who's a bit more logical and who has their feet grounded in reality a little bit more, and who does not see life through their emotions that much. A partner like this is able to speak sense into the moon in Cancer's head and also stop the moon in Cancer from making really silly decisions that are based off of their emotional reactions. So even though I say that a moon in Cancer is highly sensitive, and it is one of the most sensitive placements to have, the extremely deep, intense emotions that these natives do experience throughout their lives causes them to become some very strong, resilient people. When they start out young, they can be a little bit weak. It can be difficult for them to defend themselves and to stand up for themselves. But as they get older, these extreme emotional experiences that they've had causes them to become stronger and stronger over time. When they're older people, they have this inner emotional strength within them that they did lack when they were younger. Sometimes moon in Cancer natives can feel a little bit empty. They can feel like there's not really much going on inside them. They can feel very disconnected to their emotions, or like they're not feeling emotions whatsoever. This relates to the moon, and when it is in its new moon phase, it's empty, it has nothing. Other times, moon in Cancer people can feel like there's just too much going on. There's so much in them and they have to let it out. This relates to the full moon phase, and when they actually fill themselves up with all these emotions inside them. Moon in Cancer natives can often go through these time periods where they feel empty, but then suddenly they feel highly overwhelmed. The emotional nature of a moon in Cancer is highly unpredictable. One can never say how they are going to react to a specific situation or a specific person. Even though a person with the moon in Cancer has this very, very big capacity for love and empathy toward others, when they are in a overwhelming emotional state where they do not know how to deal with their negative emotions, they can be rather unempathetic and ununderstanding to the people in their lives. The only reason for this is because they just do not know how to deal with what's going on inside them, and it's overwhelming to them, and they have to lash out at somebody. When they lash out at you and they are unsympathetic and uncaring towards you, it doesn't mean that they don't care about you. It just means that they're at a point where they do not know how to manage their overwhelming emotions anymore. It can be very difficult for a moon in Cancer to forget about their past. A lot of things from their past haunts them. Those who have a moon in Cancer can have quite a damaged inner child because their childhood experience might not have been the best. It is incredibly hard for them to just move on and to be in the present and to focus on the future, as their thoughts and their memories and emotions are consistently gravitating toward the past and what happened to them in their past. It is very important for a moon in Cancer to learn to move on from the past and forget the past. The past is in the past. When a moon in Cancer person is able to leave the past in the past, they can start working on healing their inner child. However, when they cling on to the past and the injustice that was done to them and the pain that they experienced, or even if they just cling on to the positive memories from the past, it doesn't really serve them right now. Cancer moon natives have a really, really good memory. They almost have like a photographic memory. When something happens to them or you tell them something, they will likely never forget it, and they can recall this memory 20, 30 years down the line in specific detail. Because Cancer moons tend to remember things so vividly, it can be both a positive and a negative thing for them. It's positive because they love to think back to the positive times that they had in the past and to daydream and reminisce these memories. But it's also negative because when they think of the negative memories and experiences that they have, it's almost like they relive it again. Cancer moon people have a lot of fears in relation to abandonment, emotional and physical security within their lives, and negative experiences with family members that damages their sense of self. Very often, those who have a Cancer moon tend to rely on other people in their life to give them some kind of sense of stability or just some kind of sense of reassurance. It can be tricky for them to feel entirely sure about themselves when they stand on their own 2 feet, and they do need people in their lives to tell them that they are worthy and to tell them that they're capable. On the other hand, Cancer moon people can also want other people to be dependent on them. They love it when other people need them. They love it when other people need their guidance, their inputs, and their help. It makes them feel needed, valued, and loved. Cancer moon people must watch out for getting involved with people who will suck them dry and who will take advantage of this caring, nurturing quality that they have. Because Cancer moon people feel valued when they care for people, they will continue doing this even if this person is taking advantage of them. Usually people who have a moon in Cancer are destined to nurture and care in this life. Most people with a moon in Cancer will either have children or they can take on caregiver roles in their life for the people in their lives because they have this natural need to care for and nurture. If a person has quite a few negative aspects with their moon in their natal chart, then their ability to have and nurture children can be a little bit inhibited in their life. But even though they aren't able to have their own children and to look after their own children, they still need to figure out a way to amplify and grow this nurturing, loving capacity that they have within their hearts. If they do not allow themselves to nurture and grow this loving capacity within their hearts, they can become bitter people who are grumpy and resentful as they get older. Cancer moon natives are highly defensive in social situations. So as soon as someone disagrees with what they're saying, then they become highly defensive and they want to protect and guard themselves. It's difficult for them to accept a disagreement taking place. It's difficult for them to feel like a person's not personally offending them when they're disagreeing with them. Often, when someone disagrees with a Cancer moon native, it's nothing personal, it's just the person disagreeing with what they're saying. But to the Cancer moon native, it's a personal attack. They feel like this person does not value them. They feel like this person's trying to threaten them, and they become highly, highly defensive. It is important for Cancer moon people to learn to not be so highly defensive based on what other people tell them, and to just allow other people to say what they want to say and be what they want to be without having to defend themselves. Cancer moon natives can often feel like everyone is out to hurt them or insult them or offend them, but this is not the case. And it is mainly only because they perceive things so subjectively in life that it seems that everyone wants to offend them and hurt them and insult them, but it's not what it's actually like. This is just how they see things. Cancer moon natives, both men and women, will find it a lot easier to actually express their emotions to females. So Cancer moon men can really struggle to be emotionally expressive unless they have some kind of female influence or female figure within their life that helps them be more expressive, that helps them to let out their emotions. The same goes for the females. The females are more willing to open up regarding what's going on inside them when they're surrounded by other females. People who have their moon in Cancer view the outside world as this treacherous, dangerous, dark, scary place, and they have to create this almost like protected space for themselves where they feel comfortable and that the outside world cannot hurt them and impact them. Cancer moon natives very often have their mother's eyes, and they also have the exact same mood temperament that their mother had. Cancer moon natives have experienced their mother going through a lot of intense emotions as a child. As a child, they learned how to deal with these complex emotions that their mother went through. As an adult, they have this natural instinctive sense of knowing how to deal with other people's complex emotions. When other people are in a more negative emotional state, a Cancer moon knows how to comfort them. Cancer moon people can often threaten the people in their lives that they're going to leave just because they want to see how the people will react when they're gone. They want to see that these people value them and love them. They want to see that if they aren't going to be present in these people's lives anymore, that they're going to miss them and it's going to hurt. So if your moon in Cancer tells you that they're leaving, they most likely aren't. They're just testing to see what your reaction is going to be to them leaving, if you actually care enough. Moon in Cancer natives also possess this highly secretive inner world. So there is a side to them that they will never show anyone, not even their closest partner. They can live a highly secretive life where they do secretive things that they never ever tell anyone. The best thing a moon in Cancer can actually do for themselves is to listen to their intuition when it comes to other people and other situations. Their inner voice is always right. Their inner voice always tells them what they need to hear, and they must always make sure they listen to it and they don't ignore it. When the Cancer moon native was a child, they most likely were a little bit dramatic when it comes to expressing their emotions, and what ended up happening is they attracted a lot of attention to them when they expressed their emotions. This could have caused some kind of subconscious self-consciousness in them now as an adult, where they are scared that if they do express their emotions openly, it's going to attract way too much attention to them. So more often than not, they internalize their emotions and they do not openly express it when they're around people. The reason for this is because they fear the reaction that they will get from people if they are open about their emotions. Okay, so this is my video on the moon in Cancer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. Do you have a moon in Cancer and do you relate with what I said? Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the link to my Patreon below if you would like to support this channel and to see what that is all about. Thanks again for watching this video, and I will see you next time.